As for me, it was my relationships that got me through my residency. Ultimately, conflict is resolved by remembering why you were friends in the first place. In the end, though, it doesn't really matter how you get there, as long as you're friends again. In the end, every relationship needs maintenance. The bottom line is that if you care about someone, it's pretty easy to make the sacrifice. One of the hardest things around here is that sometimes you don't get to know how things end. Ultimately, it'll drive you crazy if you don't have a friend to help you through it.
As a person doesn't have to be perfect to be exactly what you need.
I realized how important it is to have someone close to you that you can count on. Sometimes it's not about the words. It's just about having someone there to listen. I think relationships are inherently fragile. I think the easiest way to lose something is to want it too badly. In the end, it's always best to rely on your principles to make decisions. No matter how much we like to pretend otherwise, strong, confident women will always have the power over us. Well, sometimes you have to go too far to see where the line is. None of us wanted to say what we were thinking, how vulnerable we felt. I think the second you stop fighting it, time really is on your side. I guess it's important not to take life for granted. Sometimes the bad guy is the man you've been battling with for as long as you can remember. I guess all you can do is come back to work the next morning and hope that being a good guy pays off. Dr. Kelso made me realize that lies come back to haunt you. You know, this is the kind of thing I normally say out loud in my head, but since we're all here, it just seems like in the end, everything always works out, because as long as It's always nice to let your friends know that you appreciate them. At the end of the day, the best thing to do for your friends is to be honest. See, that's the thing about trying to have your cake and eating it too. If you make the slightest mistake, you usually wind up getting neither. You can never truly capture the past. Nothing worth having comes easy. If a relationship's gonna work, it has to be based on trust. I guess there's a lot of things that can knock you on your ass. When your pride's at stake, you can't help but have questions. But ultimately, big or small, sacrifice is about doing something you really don't want to do. It's amazing how a selfless gesture can affect so many people. Oh, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I couldn't help but think how ego affects everything. The way some things never change shines a light on the things that do. Sometimes the biggest changes are a result of an impulsive decision. And yes, change is scary, but it's also inevitable. It's up to you to make the best of it. I mean, it's not like opportunity is just gonna fall into your lap.